What up, fam ski? This is New Bedford's friendly neighborhood resident Portuguese thick boy, Eric Lima over here. You are watching yet another video episode from my secondary YouTube channel vlog in which I present to all of you. My sentimental thoughts come from my heart and my soul, and my mental oddball shenanigans come from the mind and brain. This is EML77 TV, episode 954. It's 5:33 p.m., October the 29th, 2020. Last week of October of 2020. Personally, I am glad this week's almost over, man. I got one more day, and that is tomorrow. One more day of work, and then I get the weekend, and I can relax. I can just this week can buzz off for once. And we're going to a brand new month, which reminds me, November the 1st is daylight savings time ended. Change your clocks back an hour, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you can do. Now, as you know, I've been doing recaps of all three WWE brands, NXT, and Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And a lot of people don't cover NXT UK that much. And one person, get Wits Collectibles or something like that, I forget, I know it's Wits somebody, gave me props for covering NXT UK. I like to watch all the brands of the WWE, all facets of the WWE, including NXT UK. And I gotta tell you, it's NXT UK is some of the greatest talent there. And personally, if you haven't watched NXT UK, I suggest you do not watch this video and you go to the WWE network. You better subscribe. You better find a card to subscribe with, and then, which I have here, I have yet to subscribe, resubscribe once again, and then I'm going to, and I am totally going to watch, and totally watch, because you gotta totally go watch. Get one. If you don't have the WWE network or you want to resubscribe, I suggest you pick one of these bad boys up. This is one I got from Best Buy for 6 months at $59, $60 basically, $10 a month. I suggest you go pick it up, man. It's gonna be totally awesome. So, because this NXT UK, it was great. The main event, the match of the NXT UK heavyweight title, Walter of Imperium defends the title against Ilya Dragunov. I'll get into that matchup. And I'm trying to talk so I can, go over the 10-minute mark. That's one of my goals here when doing these videos, is go over the 10-minute mark each and every single time. So we're keying off with a women's match, the only women's match on the card for NXT, the episode NXT UK. Aoife Valkyrie going one-on-one with Dani Luna. It was a good matchup, hard-hitting matchup. Match could have gone either way, but in the end, Aoife Valkyrie still undefeated in NXT UK, so that's a huge thing, and that could propel her to an NXT UK Women's title shot. Aoife Valkyrie, very beautiful, but also very, very strong and powerful. You got to respect that. A 20-year veteran of the British independent scene will be coming to NXT UK. Rampage Brown, who has been all over the British independent scene and finally is making his way to NXT UK. This is going to be a very, very interesting situation. Could he be the guy? Should Dragunov fail to get the title, could he be the guy to stop Walter? We'll find out. All right. And then they had the confrontation, the mediation with Eddie Dennis and the South Wales subculture. That's Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, one of my favorite tag teams in NXT UK. As they were talking, they said, "What's going on?" And they, the old saying, "Keep your friends close and your enemies closer." And Pretty Deadly comes out and stands beside Eddie Dennis. But then, knowing in back of Webster and Morgan's minds, hey, two could play that game. We got friends of our own. The Hunt comes into the ring, and then all of a sudden, Eddie Dennis goes, "No, you don't understand. Once again, keep your friends close, the enemies closer." And the Hunt attacks. I'll tell you, this is the second heel turn in 2 days. First, last night, you got Pete Dunne. Now you get the Hunt turning against the South Wales subculture. It seems like the Hunt is aligned themselves with Eddie Dennis. That is going. the headmaster of the NXT UK will be even more deadlier with those two gentlemen, Primate and Wild Boar, in the corner, align themselves with Eddie Dennis. That's going to be something else. I was shocked. I was like, whoa. That's going to be very intense. Now that Morgan and Andrews are both out of the and that Andrews never entered the tournament since now Flash Morgan Webster is out of the NXT UK Heritage Cup tournament, which next week will be the semifinals as Mastiff goes against Trent Seven, and as A-Kid and Noam Dar go 1-on-1. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup, to say the least. Piper Niven was interviewed and asked about what her next is. She's still targeting Kaylee Ray for that NXT UK Women's Championship. Well, I think Piper Niven's got the Braun Strowman state of mind. She's not finished with Kaylee Ray. That's good. Meanwhile, Sid Scala's about to get interviewed, then Pretty Deadly says, "Hey, we want a shot at the Gals NXT UK Tag Team title shots." And then Sid Scala says, "I'll talk to Johnny Saint about it." And then Sam Gradwell says, "The Thunderstorm's returning." And then Gallus says, "Hey, do you hear everything all right?" Well, Pretty Deadly wanted us a shot in the belts. And then all of a sudden Sid, and then you talk to Sid and look at Sid Scala. Gallus is back at full strength next week. And Sid Scala made the matchup. It will be a 6-man tag. It will be Gallus on one side. It's the Coffey brothers. Joe Coffey will be back in action, along with Wolfgang, the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, to go up against Pretty Deadly and Sam Gradwell. That's going to be a heck of a matchup. Pretty Deadly, though, you talk about a pretty boy team. They could be the new version, like the UK version of the Rockers, so to speak. But who knows for sure? Lewis Holly and Sam Stoker. And Gals wants to fight. So, Jordan Devlin came back to the ring, and he's recognized as the NXT Cruiserweight Champion. And went up against a guy who was very muscular and made his debut, Levi Muir. And with a hard-fought matchup, Devlin did pick up the victory over Muir and sent a message to the Cruiserweight division. And he always says never bet against an ace. That's going to be a heck. And if I were Santos Escobar, I'd be paying attention. But I'll tell you one thing. Now, Pete Dunne managed to fly his way to the States. If he can manage to do that, I'm sure somehow Jordan Devlin will find some way to get to the States and challenge Santos Escobar to a Cruiserweight unification matchup. I want to see that matchup. Santos Escobar's been disgracing the Cruiserweight title. Well, Jordan Devlin, even though he has not defended it because of the travel restrictions, I want to see that matchup. I want to see if Santos Escobar can hold his own against the Irish Ace. In fact, if Santos Escobar considers himself king of the Cruiserweights, here in the States we have a game show called Card Sharks, and there's only one card higher than the king in that game was an ace. In the UK, they call it play your cards right. So, Sister Santos Escobar, you call yourself a king? But the ace is always higher than the king. And when Jordan Devlin gets to the States and challenges you to a unification match, you're going to learn the hard way. You're going to learn the hard way that you don't bet against an ace. Never bet against an ace. Never. Ever. Bet against an ace. Let's talk about the Walter Dragunov title match. Ladies and gentlemen, this matchup was the most brutal, most awesome, most brutal as far as physicality is concerned. The physicality was the most brutal in this matchup. There had been more chops. Than an Atlanta Braves game. That's how crazy this match was. Walter's chops are no freaking joke. When he hits you, you hear like guns out. It's like 21 guns blazing. He was chopping at Dragunov's neck, targeting the neck. Dragunov's chest and back were so red. I mean, holy mackerel. Imagine, I'm thinking about, imagine Walter going up against a Big Show in a chop match. There'll be a lot of woos I can see Rick. I wonder how Ric Flair, the master of the knife edge chop, think about this matchup. I wonder if he was watching this matchup. In fact, everybody should be watching NXT UK because there's a lot of great talent there. No joke about it. Well, Walter is no joke. Neither is Dragunov. These two went at it to the point where Dragunov was bleeding from the mouth. And oh my gosh, Dragunov suplexed this guy. Walter tried to finish him off. 2 power bombs and a splash. Still kicks out. These two chop. They were beating. Oh my gosh. Walter was busted open. Headbutts. I'm like, oh my God. Every time Walter does a chop, you cringe. Because this monster of a man, who could give Brock Lesnar a run for his money, okay? He would not be afraid. Imagine Walter against The Undertaker in his prime. How about Walter against Big Show in a chop match? Walter versus Kane. Walter versus Brock Lesnar. Walter versus Keith Lee. Walter versus Braun Strowman. And the chops. This guy, when he chops, man, he chops. And when he chops, man, he's like, I'm like, dude, you don't want to step in the ring with him. In fact, I don't recommend, now thank God it's October, but the fact of the matter is, if during the summer, all right, if you go out and get a sunburn during the summer, and you've had to fight this guy, Walter, you'll be in more pain than anything else. You know why he's the NXT UK Heavyweight Champion? Because stuff that he does is unbelievable. Ilya Dragunov, I'm a fan of him. I am a fan. He's made a fan out of me. This guy is the most intense man ever. He did everything he could to try to beat Walter. Couldn't get it done. Not even a Torpedo Moscow. I'm like, who can beat Walter? But you're talking about the most intense match ever for the NXT UK Heavyweight Championship between these two gentlemen was intense. It was a hard-fought match. Oh my gosh, you have to see this match to believe me, because this match was totally crazy. It blows my mind. I'm just hoping that superstars back in the States said, hey, that match will be talking around the cooler down there in the States. They're going to say, hey, anybody see that Dragunov Walter match? I mean, Pete Dunne's going to talk about it. I'm sure Imperium there, Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner must be watching the match and going, oh my God. Alexander Wolf, I'm sure some of the superstars from Europe that are in the States right now must be watching the match going, oh my gosh. They're probably going to tell everybody, hey, watch this match. That's how intense this match is. I mean, Walter's chops are no joke. I mean, when he chops somebody, he chops somebody. Good Lord, knife edge chops, guns going off. It sounds like guns going off with him. Other Big Show's chops were vicious. Walter, it was Chop City. You know, Brock Lesnar says Suplex City. Walter is the mayor of Chop City. The dude knows how to chop. Boom! When he chops, your chest turns freaking red. You know, if you want to know how it's like picturing my chest hairs getting waxed off. That's how painful. If my chest hair ever gets waxed off, I mean, TMI. I know that's never done. But imagine if I decided, well, okay, we're gonna get hair off you, and and then they pull the hair. You know how painful that is. You know, Walter's chops are twice more painful than that, or twice as painful than that. Imagine. And he chops, and when he chops. Oh my God, Walter's chops, man. Walter's chops. It, boom. I'm like, how in the world do you survive that? I mean, he was chopping at Dragunov's neck, and I can't stop talking about Walter's chops. Talk about busting chops, man. This guy knows how to chop. I mean, I'm like I said, that match had more chops than an Atlanta Braves game, for goodness sake. Or a Cleveland Indians game, depends. But anyways, oh my gosh. even Tatanka's chops and Ric Flair's chops have been put to shame. Walter. Whew. Between Walter and Dragunov, that match was the most intense match ever. The darndest thing ever to watch. The darndest match ever to watch. Even Andy Shepard and Nigel McGuinness were like in exclaiming every time there's a close count, oh, come on. And in the end, Walter wins the match with a sleeper hold. Dragunov was out like a light. I was like, what a match that was. Who is going to stop Walter? That's the major question. But Ilya Dragunov, wow. Dude, I have a lot of respect for Ilya Dragunov, man. It's surreal. Ilya freaking Dragunov. Walter keeps the title, retains the title. But Ilya Dragunov, I would not be surprised if they decide to get him to the States. I would not be surprised if they try to. Because I'll tell you what. You get Ilya Dragunov in the States, he would be a threat to any title. You put him on Raw and SmackDown, any title. Heck, if Sami Zayn runs his mouth and let's say on SmackDown says nobody can beat me, and this guy shows up, Ilya Dragunov, I say, Sami, it's nice knowing you. That title is going to Ilya Dragunov. That's what I would have said. And I'm sure Ilya Dragunov said, I want the biggest dude ever. He got Bobby Lashley for the United States title. Imagine Bobby Lashley going up against Walter. Come on. I mean, people are going to take notice of these two gentlemen. That's the point I'm trying to make. People are going to notice these two gentlemen and they say, we want them here. And you know what? That will be something to freaking behold. Dragunov, Walter, what a match. What a match. I don't know if I want to watch it again. That's how, and in fact, Josiah Williams is back and says, I'm terrified of these two guys. I'm afraid, I don't blame you. These guys are the most intense dudes ever. All I know is they've earned each other's respect, that's for sure. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. What a match. What a card. So, next week you got the six-man tag, Pretty Deadly and Sam Gradwell to team up against Gallus. You got the two semifinal matches, A-Kid and Noam Dar, and then you got Trent Seven and Dave Mastiff. I got a hunch that Trent Seven and Noam Dar, who prior to all this were feuding and Noam Dar was disrespecting Trent Seven. I wouldn't be surprised if those two came in the final round of the Heritage Cup tournament. Seriously, that'd be something I would look on. Well, I gotta go, and I just realized that Pressure Luck's on tonight, the season finale. I'm gonna watch that. I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful night, and remember, change the clocks back an hour this coming Sunday, Saturday into Sunday. We're supposed to get cold rain tomorrow, very cold rain. A little bit of snow mixed in the northwest part, the higher elevations. Thankfully, no accumulations as far as snow is concerned. In fact, as far as you can go, we'll probably get there's inch to 3 inches up northwest of us, and possibly a coating upon grass surfaces and car tops because the ground would be still be too warm. And now I found out next week in November, the beginning of November, we're going to have warmer weather again. Crazy. That's how it is. And once again, condolences and prayers to the friends and family of Sean Milligan. And that's all I got to say, man. That's all I got to say. So, guys, this is episode 954, EML77 TV. I'm going to hopefully get another episode after this going. So we'll see what happens, all right? I'll see you guys later. NXT UK 10/29/2020 review recap is over, and I will see you on the next episode 955. Peace.